I told the team, I wrote it on the board, culture win. That's what tonight was. And I couldn't be prouder and happier for a group of guys in that locker room than I was tonight. Who gave us a chance? Who would have thought? You know, you had 2 preseason All-Americans, arguably the best player in college basketball. And, but it doesn't matter how many men you're down, doesn't matter. Man, when you got character and you got guys with that are together, and you can do a lot of things. Part of which is go almost 10 minutes and don't score, and get out rebounded 14. But you find a way. And I walked in yesterday with boxing gloves into scouting report, into film, and I told our guys that it was a heavyweight fight and it was going to be 12 rounds, and you're probably going to get knocked down, and you're going to get up, and you're probably going to get knocked down again. And it's about how many times are we going to do that. And it won't be easy. I told them the game would be ugly. I think we had something to do with that. And then they had a lot to do with it in the second half. I thought Luke Goode was phenomenal, not just because he made threes, but I thought his defense was great. He came that last rebound, flew across the court to get that, and then I thought that Ben and Omar fought, and I thought Ben in particular gave us tremendous physicality. They hit a couple of shots early in post-ups. We knew that's what they would do. Other than fouling too much, to hold them to 3 threes. Our goal was to hold them under 4 threes. They're elite in transition, but one was Bingham. We missed an assignment on Hauser, and Gabe got one in transition. To hold that team to 3 threes, I'm pretty excited about. I take that every night. But to beat a team like Tom's teams, and it's a heavyweight fight. There's nothing easy. You know exactly what they're going to do, and I thought we did a great job of guarding it. And the foul line was something that hurt us, but we just found a way. Trent Frazier was huge. Got us going in the first half. Plummer hit a big shot, and kind of kept us at bay. And then we were fortunate down the stretch.
Brad, you don't score the last 5 minutes. You mentioned that. What happens to the offense during that stretch? What caused that? And have you ever won a game where you didn't score in the last 5 minutes before?
Probably. Jake got 2 or 3 really clean looks. I thought Demonte had a layup that he tried to dump off to Ben. It was a layup. There wasn't anybody in front of him, and he just passed it. They were topping Plum, so we knew it was going to be hard to get him a look. And then Trent was being hard hedged, but. We got downhill a couple times. They made terrific defensive plays. They're an elite shot blocking team. I thought once Plummer got by on the layup, he never misses that, and they come out of nowhere to block it. So I didn't feel like we got bad looks. I thought they made really good plays, and then we missed a few shots, and that puckers you up a little bit on the other end. But it just happened to be enough tonight.
Brett, what do you have to do as a coach? You obviously challenged them a little bit after Maryland, where you said they didn't have a lot of fight. So how do you as a coach get this kind of response out of them?
I didn't have to. I hope you guys understand that was an off day after Maryland on Sunday. And is that right? When it was Saturday. That was an off day. Every single player was in the office or was in getting shots. And they were ticked, and they had, they knew, and I've said it since the first year I got here. If I have to lead all the time, then we're not going to be very good. Those guys knew, and we've been great. We were great in practice. We were focused, and they were embarrassed. And when they saw the film, and we had a lengthy film session, they didn't like what they saw, and that wasn't us. And We didn't deserve to win, and we didn't.
Coach, we've asked you this question before, but maybe it has a little more effect tonight with Trent getting that new accolade. What does he mean to this program?
Lifetime contract, if I can give him one. Man, he's, I don't have, I'm gonna dread senior night. I'm gonna dread that last one. He's absolutely everything that we're about. He's everything that I want our program to stand for. He's a guy that has probably sacrificed for others so we could win. You talk about an elite scorer who's become a elite defender and still kept his scoring and now runs our team and has been elite. And so I'm an extremely happy coach that he's on our team, and he means a great deal to us.
Brad, they did, their point guards especially, they didn't run much good off, they didn't look comfortable on offense, I should say, for about 30 minutes at least. But what did you set out to do, and what were you able to do to those point guards and to their offense to keep them from ever finding it?
Well, I thought the one thing was the first thing is keep them out of transition, and you've got to do that. I mean, you know, Michigan State's one of the elite transition teams. We had a little segment in the first half where they got going, Gabe hit one, and I think had an and one. But you know, I thought we guarded their actions. I don't think it was as much their point guards as it was, you know, maybe you know, they run a lot of pin down screens. They run a lot of what we call floppy action. I thought we guarded that pretty well and made them shoot some contested shots. Thought Bingham was effective on the block, and you know, we knew at halftime that we were going to see a steady dose of post-ups. You know, and without Cove, that's you know, kind of been the recipe. But you know, I thought we did a good job, and you know, I hope our defense had a lot to do with making them feel uncomfortable and shoot a low percentage.
Derek? Coach, going into tonight, Luke only made one shot since the St. Francis game. What does that say about him staying ready and his confidence, and what have you seen out of him to be able to do this tonight?
Yeah, he shoots it every day, and he works. And you know, the hardest thing for freshmen is to understand that when you go to practice, most days you're helping your team. You're not helping your own game, and you have to do that. And Luke's that guy that gets extra work every single day, gets an extra lift every single day. He shoots 1 million balls. He's on the scout team. He doesn't run our plays a lot usually. He's running what the opponent does. And yet he's cerebral. He's tougher than heck. And you know, I feel like, you know, I thought tonight early we had really good looks that didn't go in to open the game. And I said, okay, we're going to get some looks. And sure enough, you know, it ended up being the right move, and he jumps up and knocks him down.
Yeah. Brad, when Tom was in here, one guy he said he loves is Demonte Williams. So on a culture night, what did he bring to you for 27 minutes?
Well, let's see, he guards guys 10 inches taller than him, 6 inches taller than him, stronger than him, the point guard. You know, there's a reason Tom and I are really, really close and good friends, and we think alike, and we have a lot of the same things are important in terms of grit and fight, and they may not show up on the stat sheet, but they do show up on the important one, and that's the left column. And again, you're talking about a guy that nobody believes in Demonte Williams more than Brad Underwood, and you know, I don't care what he does offensively. I don't care. He's going to usually make the right play, and he's always going to fight like that.
Right in the middle.
Hey, Coach, so you talked about Luke Goode and how his play just beyond hitting those triples worked big for you guys tonight. Talk to us about that play that he made when he got that open look for Alfonso in the corner.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's just a play. We were trying to put guys in the right places based on their coverage, and we know where they support from. They supported a low hold, what we call a low hold, and you know, the play was a high shake, and we threw it back to him, and he just makes a quick and one, you know, to Plum, and that ended up being a big shot. It kind of stopped a little momentum for them, but he makes a lot of right plays. just simply with his feel and his IQ of the game.
I guess with Andre playing at Maryland, like under the weather with the fever, when did it reach the point where he had to go into the protocol? And did you think about not playing him when he was feeling sick?
No.
That's fine.
Those conversations, and again, you guys have been dealing with me for a couple of years now. I'm not going to talk about specific guys and their situations. He and Paul felt like he was able to go at Maryland. We played him sparingly, and compared to what he played. And you talk about a young guy that I just feel sick for. I mean, my heart aches for Andre Curbelo, and he just needs to catch a break. And they do what our university policy is and CDC in terms of coming back, and he didn't feel, I don't want to say worse or better, but then as they move through, they go through our protocols and our health and safety issues, and that's still where he's at, and we'll deal with that. You guys, I said it yesterday or the day before. I talked to Paul. I talked to our doctors. I don't intermingle, and when they say can't go, I literally do not ask a question. It is too much for me to think about when I've got to control a basketball team, and I worry about the guys that are going to be there. And doggone it, we didn't have him tonight. I feel bad for him. We didn't have Kofi tonight, but the situation is what it is with both those guys. And when they're back on the court and they tell us that they can go, we'll welcome them back with open arms because they're two of the best players in America.
Coach, career high for Iowa yesterday, and now he's back in the building in Champaign tonight. What does that mean for you to see him again on an off day?
Well, I wanted to see him after the game and tell him what a dumbass sixth foul he had, but geez, you can't commit that one when you're playing as well as he's playing. But what a young man, and he was texting me all day. This was a game that meant a lot to him last year. He got knocked out, and it impacted him. He called this afternoon. He said, "Coach, I need some tickets. Whatever you need, young man." And he's having a phenomenal year. He deserves it. He's worked hard, and I watch every game I can. And he was just nothing short of spectacular last night.
Brad, given the respect you have for Tom and they like some more things in players, do you have an extra bit of oomph when you win one over him, like with Luke and Ty?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's not because it's Tom. It's because you got to understand. I mean, when you're a Daytona Beach Community College, and you watch the Final Four and Tom Izzo's in it, and now he's across from you, and you've really gotten to know the guy and what he stands for. It's not just him. He's just a great dude, but it's the program, and I envy that. I mean, that's what you let me have one program in the country, I want to be like that one. And to stand for the things that he stands for and the way he's done it doesn't mean anymore. It means something to the fact that maybe we're getting a little bit in the same realm with them, and that's why the culture win tonight. Always remember this game because of that, and not just who didn't play, but the guys that played. And who we beat, and to me that probably means as much as anything.
Joey? Brad, there's been a few times where you said I probably could have played Luke a little bit more, especially in this last month or so. Tonight, did he make it kind of difficult for you to moving forward?
He was terrific, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's, you guys would probably been in here questioning the hell out of me if I didn't play him. It was that obvious. I mean, he was terrific. I guess. You worry a little bit about his minutes because of fatigue or the physicality, but Luke is physical. The football side of that helps, and but he is. he was spectacular. And, you know, he's earned that right.
If treating Maryland as a one-off defensively, was there just one thing maybe you saw early tonight that had you think, okay, that's the defense that we can play?
Just activity, talk, communication. We played extremely selfish on the defensive end against Maryland. We're in gaps. I mean, the hardest thing to do in basketball is close out. It takes 3 people to guard a closeout because you got to be in the gaps. Not just the guy guarding the ball, but you got to give that guy some help and some support. We were off hugging our man and just running around and we were really selfish. And part of that is the mentally we weren't very sharp, but physically we were just slow and late. And you know, again, one off tonight. You know, I knew we'd have good energy because we practiced great.
Hey Brad, so how did that lift from the Orange Crush feel for you guys?
I love them. They're the best. You know, it's funny because I talked to a guy who's my long, I've known him forever. And he goes, man, I love watching your games because of your student section. And he goes, when did you guys start school? Because he goes, I noticed you didn't have them your last game. I said, well, they'll be there tonight. And they are special. And, you know, they do so much for the community. And, you know, students create the environment. And they create the energy. And they create the buzz. And they're the best.
Yeah.
Brad, beyond the 4 fouls, take that away. If you can get that out of Omar every time, am I wrong to assume you might be thrilled?
Yeah, other than the really bad foul
Right.
going over the guy's back from 75 feet and put him on the foul line, absolutely. You know, and he's got more to give. You know, I ran a post-up play to him tonight. I haven't ran a post-up play for him all year. And, you know, he's just jumped up and scored it. And he's getting more confident, and he's playing great. And I debated about starting him, but I love Ben's physicality in the game tonight, so I went that way, and both those guys were great. And that's through this process, we've gotten better because those guys and Luke and we've seen a maturation happen that will help us as we move on.
Brad, understanding that you guys had a COVID pause earlier this month, is there any level of concern just now that Andre's in protocols, given the airplane and a locker room in Maryland for the next week or so as this kind of plays out?
Well, we mask up and do that at a really high rate, and he has not been around, so and I don't know with exact number of guys. We had 10, so I think we're in a pretty good place for the most part of guys that, you know, should have an adequate build up to it. So yeah, we'll say our prayers.
I know you kind of talked about that maturation of Luke and Ben. I mean, I know there were a couple of guys who a couple weeks ago were only playing a couple minutes a game to now they're playing over 20 minutes and are big kind of parts of the lineup. How much does that kind of say about them to be able to jump up and step up as quickly as they have?
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, Luke, I've said many times, I'll be shocked if Luke Goode's not a 1500-point scorer. And he's got those abilities. And he's a really good player who's got really good players in front of him. And he's been able to learn because he hasn't been forced to have to go out there and fail and perform. He's been able to learn and see, and he's taken that under his hat and just just continue to work. The great thing about Luke Goode is his work ethic. I mean, he speaks volumes. He's in every day challenging Fletch for more. I just want more. He wants, he wants his junior year body now, which doesn't happen, but he's working toward that.
Anything else? All right, thank you.